Hi everyone, welcome to the Red October Network. Thank you for watching all these videos. We have some loyal viewers here. Hi, Jeff, by the way, my friend Jeff. He said he really liked the videos that we make here on the Red October Network. So, anyways, topic of the day. Without further ado, the Pittsburgh Pirates. They were no-hit by the Cincinnati Reds in Homer Bailey at PNC Park. And not only that, but this officially means that they are going to have a 20th straight losing season. And I don't know what to say about it. I mean, you probably saw in my video here a few months ago saying that this was going to be a different year for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And I guess you could say it really wasn't. They absolutely had a collapse. I mean, on August 5th, they were 16 games over 500. And I think that, you know, you have to look at that and say, well, what happened? Well, a lot of things happened. I mean, I think, first of all, the colossal collapse that they had really is just symbolic of the struggle of the past 2 decades of baseball here in Pittsburgh. And that's really a problem. I used to joke around about how there was the curse of Barry Bonds, that the Pirates would never have a winning season until all the players that were on that 92 team were retired. And the last one of those members was a pitcher who was a rookie on that. I think it was Pavano or something like that, or Guerrera or somebody like that, just retired. And we thought, and with Tim Wakefield, we thought to ourselves, oh yeah, well, this is going to be it. We'll finally have a winning season. Obviously, it looked a lot better towards August, but you know, you have to think about this. They've lost so many games. I mean, they're 20 games, I think, under 500 in that stretch from August and September. I mean, it's basically unexcusable from a standpoint of Pittsburgh sports. Now, I know that obviously there's some people who said that this is kind of good because it helps sort the bandwagoners from the true fans. Well, the thing is with it is that baseball is a little bit of a different sport in that there's really no sense in kicking bandwagoners to the curb. And the reason is because all the revenue that is brought in goes directly to salary. More fans you get in the ballpark, the bigger and better players you can get. So if you're on the bandwagon, the Bucko bandwagon, I don't really have a problem with you in anything like this. Obviously, you can see with the Reds tonight in Homer Bailey that there's obviously a reason why this team is winning the division. And I think there was a lot of doubt in everybody's mind that the Pirates would be able to grab the wild card, and I think a lot of fans were just kind of swept up in the feeling, oh, this is going to be the Pirates here. But there's a lot of problems. First of all, I think there's still a lot of pressure on Bob Nutting, the owner of the Pittsburgh Pirates, to go and put a winning team on the field. Now, a lot of the sports media here in Pittsburgh really think that he has no interest in doing anything but making money. Now, from a capitalistic point of view, yeah, that's good, but I think personally that the reason why you would own a sports team is to get a winner on the field. It's not to make money. If you want to make money, open a business or something. Open a cannery, open a department store or something. This sport, the only way you're judged as a franchise is how much you win. This is sports. Now, there's another topic that comes up, and I think, you know, who should be fired, and Clint Hurdle's name came up. I think personally Clint Hurdle should receive a pat on the back for the fact that for the most of the season this year, the Pirates were a pretty damn good team. They were a pretty damn good team. I mean, they were hitting, and they were pitching well. you know, they had Starling Marte come up and whatnot, and so it was really a stunning thing to have a team that's good. I often think, though, that there's still some things that this team lacks. I think that with the exception of McCutchen and maybe Neil Walker, this team was a poor hitting team. I think A.J. Burnett had a lot of pressure on him at the later parts of the season. He was on track to be a 20-game winner, a Cy Young candidate. McCutchen was in the Triple Crown race. It looked very good. But if you really go and you trace where they went at the trade deadline and free agency, you look at Eric Bedard and Nick McLouth, and only getting Wandy Rodriguez, and getting rid of Brad Lincoln, and getting Travis Snyder and Chad Balls, you can still see with it that there is still some fundamental flaws with this team. And there's still a problem in that, in a way, there's still a necessity to go out and do what PNC Park was built for and go out and get free agents. We tore down Three Rivers Stadium with the promise that this would be the ultimate thing to support a winning team here, and it hasn't worked. It's been 12 seasons now at PNC Park, and we still don't have a winning team. So we were lied to here in Pittsburgh. The ballpark is beautiful, and that's pretty much what all the Pirates are selling right now. It is a very expensive restaurant, as it's been quoted several times on TV. And I think that's a real problem. But where did the Pirates go from here? Well, obviously Hurdle's not going to be fired. Neil Huntington, after 5 years, will not be fired. According to Bob Dunning and Frank Coonelly, the Pirates president. That's really a conundrum to me. It's really an enigmatic situation. I think, you know, in the past with Cam Bonifay and David Littlefield, that we've kind of seen, you know, that this is not tolerated. Starling Marte's being a bust is unacceptable. McCutchen worked out, Neil Walker worked out, but really, was there any farm program in this? It is better than it was in the Cam Bonifay and David Littlefield years, and Neil Huntington still has a lot of work to do. He is getting 3 first-round draft picks this year, thanks to the new MLB rules that are giving the bottom 10 teams with the bottom 10 payrolls an extra draft pick. But I think this is going to be a thing where you have to say this is going to be it for Neil Huntington. Now, what do I think about the Pirates? Well, I think, first of all, they have to get somebody in here to get them to hit better. You can't have a whole entire roster of people hitting under 300. You can't have your starting catcher Barajas hitting below the Mendoza line and Barnmus sitting around the Mendoza line. No matter how good he is defensively, you can't put up with that. I think James McDonald is done. I think A.J. Burnett and Wandy Rodriguez are going to be the 2 strong outfits. I think Correa's gone. I think, obviously, Jeff Locke and Kyle McPherson and those guys are not the answer right now. They are going to need some practice. And the good thing is with it is that they are still minor league eligible. So we could probably build those into a little bit of a powerhouse. I think... obviously that with Bedard being gone, he's not going to come back, but the Pirates are really going to have to go, and they're going to have to find somebody to become reliable and be a coach and be responsible. And I think Michael McHenry is still good. I think the Pirates are going to need a pinch hitter besides you know, these kind of spare parts from other teams. Now, will it happen? Probably not. I obviously think that ticket prices will go up for 2013 again. I think there's not going to be a huge increase in payroll. I think that if you're a Pirates fan, next season you have to be a little skeptic until they get the playoff position locked down. I think a lot of us were fooled at this at this junction because we thought this team was destined for great things. And yes, they are not going to finish as terribly as they did last year. They've surpassed their expectations from last year, and I still think, you know, that they could be within 4 or 5 games of 500. But that's not acceptable, especially when this team was 16 games over. And it still disgusts me a little bit. And I do wish that when we go and we watch the Braves play, that that's what we want in a baseball team here in Pittsburgh. Look at the Atlanta Braves. And I think that's just the puzzling thing. And, you know, I sort of seem kind of angry, and yes, I'm kind of tired after work. But you have to be thinking after this no-hitter with Homer Bailey to finally fold the Pirates into a non-losing season, especially if you look at St. Louis and how far they fell off and how much different it was to have this second wild card position. This was the Pirates' year. Make no question about it. If they would have played 500, they would be in the playoffs right now, and I'd be talking about, you know, how the Pirates would be right here. We'd be anticipating a game in about a week, probably with the Braves, and we would be talking about, you know, going down to Atlanta and avenging Francisco Cabrera and Sid Breen. But it ain't going to happen. And I don't think it's going to happen in the future either. At least in the near future. I think that they'll figure it out eventually. I think the ownership's going to have to change before anything changes. I think people will still go out to the ball games. I still think that people are going to accuse Pittsburghers of bandwagoning. I still think that the Pirates are basically going to be 4th or 5th in this division for the foreseeable future. The Cubs are going to be back, obviously. By the way, hi Cubs fans on my Facebook list. But, you know, with the Brewers and the Reds and St. Louis, those teams are not going to stay around and wait for us to fix ourselves. And they're not going to give us another chance. St. Louis will be back next year. They're obviously not going to fiddle around as much as they did last year. And I think you have to make a case that that this has to be fixed. I don't think there's much more disgust in Pittsburgh than anything. And it's sad, but it's true. So leave your comments on here. If you're one of my coworkers, subscribe. Red October 90. We're going to be changing a few things out on our page here in the next few months. We've had a little bit of management change here, so we'll see you guys later. Leave your comments. See you later.